Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And in this video, I'll be doing a big expose on the subject matter of CFO here in Nigeria. So many investors have been coming forward with a lot of questions on clarifications about CFO. What is it? How do we get access to it? Why CFO in the first place? Why is there so much buzz about CFO? Is it that without CFO your land is or your property is not legitimate? You didn't acquire the right way, So these are some of the questions that have been forthcoming about the subject matter of CFO. So in this video, I'll be giving you a very elaborate expose on the subject matter of CFO, and I would like you to sit back, get your pen and your paper, grab a snack if need be, and of course relax. And of course, after watching this video, don't also hesitate to share it. If you found value, don't hesitate to share it, family and friends, so that they can also learn about the subject matter of CFO if you are looking to invest back home. Now, what is CFO? CFO simply means Certificate of Occupancy. So I've seen many investors at the point of buying a piece of property, be it land or building, they always ask this question: hello Max, does this property have a CFO or not? Most times I'm always left in between because I'll have to go back and start explaining the difference between a CFO and a deed of conveyance, or a CFO and a gazette, or a CFO and a deed of assignment, a CFO for our brothers and sisters who are interested in Abuja, a CFO and FCDA, that's a federal, allocation development agency in Abuja. The certification they give you, So I begin to explain this whole, differences about these different kind of documents that comes with your bought land or your purchased property. So in this video, I'll be having on just CFO. I believe in subsequent edition, I'll be looking into the other kind of documents, talking about deed of assignment, deed of conveyance, gazette, power of attorney, FCDA approval, and what have you. So, but in this video, we're looking at CFO generally. So, Certificate of Occupancy, CFO, is actually a certificate given to you by the governor of the state, which certifies your ownership of a particular parcel of land in that state. And before I go further, I hope you also know that every land in a state is owned by the governor of the state, right? So the governor is the only person who has that vested authority to give you a CFO. So any CFO that is not coming direct from the governor's office is not a valid CFO. I mean, that's an expo here, right? So a CFO must always have a valid signature of the sitting governor at the time for it to be valid. So the CFO of a particular parcel of land you have has to come from the office of the governor of the state. Now, this CFO certifies the ownership of this land for 99 years. So after 99 years, you either renew your CFO or you stand the chance of revocation. Revocation simply means the governor can choose to revoke your ownership of the land. You go back again and start fighting to regain possession of your land, which you actually own. That is, and of course, it's not you that time that's going to be fighting. That's going to be your kids, because in 99 years, I don't believe you're going to still be here on this earth. In as much as we pray for long life, so 99 years is such a long time for you to actually live, added to your current age, basically, as long as you're watching this video. So that is that about CFO. It's 99 years. It's issued by the governor of the state. It certifies your true ownership of the property. All right. So how do you go ahead to gain a CFO in your land? Now, you must understand something about CFO, right? The CFO is the mother of all land document. It means that it is the most authentic document that you can own. Is the ceiling when it comes to documents that you can own for a particular piece of property. After CFO, there's no other document you can pursue for your property. That's what it means. That's why many people are always on the lookout for it. But it doesn't, let me just chip this in this video. Of course, I'm not going to be talking about deed of assignment and deed of conveyance, but the fact that CFO is the mother of all land document doesn't make a deed of conveyance or a deed of assignment less of valid legal land document. Let me repeat. The C of O is the mother of all land documents. Doesn't mean that a deed of conveyance or a deed of assignment are less of land documents. No, they are still very much valid, tenderable at the court of law, and you can also use it to own your property for as long as you want. But you can, there's some kind of benefit that the C of O gives you that a deed of assignment or a deed of conveyance might not be able to give you. Before I continue, I'd like to remind you that my name is Maximus, and I'm by God's grace the managing director of a real estate company here in Nigeria called the Win Realty Limited, a formidable real estate company with competencies in gated communities, amazing investment strategies, investment products here in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, and Abuja. So, in case you're looking to invest back home, of course, I'm someone that you should talk to for your next investment purposes. Now, going further into the video, I'd like us to look at some of the ways you can be able to gain access to access a C of O for that your property or for that your next property that you want to buy. Number one is that first of all, you must have a land, of course. You must have a land that you have bought. The land must be free of government encumbrance. It means that the government, there must not be a government interest on that your land. And what do I mean by government interest? When you buy a land, it's important you go chart it at the Ministry of Land of your state by the help of your surveyor that actually helped you to survey the land, or the lawyer that is helping you to acquire that property. So at the point of charting at the Ministry of Land, it is where you do not get to see whether this particular property is encumbered. Means that whether there's government future need for that land, it's always captured at the Ministry of Land. So you get to see it. If it is free, you're good to go. If it is encumbered, getting a C of O might not work for you. So make sure that the land you have bought is free of government encumbrance. I believe I'm giving out a lot of information already. Then you now have a land. The next thing you need to do is to process its deed of conveyance and a registered survey plan. A deed of conveyance simply means a transfer of ownership from the person you're buying the land from to you. And in that deed of conveyance, all the terms and conditions about the land, process of acquisition, historical history about the land, and what have you have to be contained in the deed of conveyance, which certifies that this property has been duly paid for and, of course, transferred from Mr. A to Mr. B or from Mrs. A to Mrs. B. So that is the deed of conveyance. Then attached to that deed of conveyance is a copy of a registered survey plan. So how do you go about the survey plan? Registration of a survey plan, please contact your surveyor friend or contractor that is helping you with that process. Right, it's not going to be captured in this video holistically, so it doesn't get too long. So you've gotten the land, it's free of encumbrance, you've gotten your deed of conveyance, you have gotten your registered survey plan. The next thing now is to go and write application for a C of O. So I'll always advise this, right? Because it's actually quite a very delicate process. It's a process that requires a lot of know-how. I always advise that you always make sure you work with a seasoned real estate lawyer or a seasoned surveyor, because these are people who are really vast in these processes. They have been doing this severally over the years. Then if you're buying from a reputable company like ours here in Nigeria, then of course you can offload that whole process to us to help you navigate it smoothly, because we have inroads to these ministries. Now, I want to bring your attention to something which is not far-fetched. Of course, no matter where you're watching this video, whether you're from the diaspora or in Nigeria, there's one constant we all know, that in this part of the world, there is a lot of bureaucracy, and most of the time it is actually intentional bureaucracy. What I mean is this: the people who are in charge of these processes would literally want to slow it down for you, for favoritism, for you to tip them, for you to give them money. And it is a norm here. I believe it's not going to be like this forever, but for now that we are still citizens of this great country, this is the reality we have faced. So because of that, if you're going to go through that process yourself, you're going to be met with all these bottlenecks. So one thing I always advise is that go with your lawyer, with a surveyor who already have inroads into these ministries, or you go with somebody like us, a company that has a lot of relationship with this whole, ministries. So we have our people in there that when we come with these deals, they easily make sure that it is fastened or it is a little bit fastened up so that the person can have access to their CFO in a record time. So you have gotten your land, you have gotten your deed of conveyance with the survey plan. Now you have submitted your application for a CFO. When you submit your application for a CFO, the representative at the Ministry of Land will now reply you with the requirements of the things you need to bring and the payment and the fees that you need to bring on for the processing of your CFO. So it varies based on the location of your land, the zoning laws around the area the land is located. This whole thing impacts the prices of these whole elements. These whole moving parts are, that you have to bring in order to process your CFO. So this is actually the process of processing your CFO. And in most cases, a CFO lasts to be able to, depending on availability and of your governor of the state that you are actually buying the property from, or how responsive your governor is to these kind of issues, administrative issues. It varies. Some states, return give you your CO in a record time. Let's say 2 months, 3 months. Why some 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, depending on how available the governor of your state is per time. I hope this helps you. So this is actually the process of acquiring your C of O in Nigeria. And for many of you who have been wondering, thinking that it's actually one of these, mystical things that is hard to process it. No, it's not. It's actually a process-driven thing, which happens to have a point A to point B to point C to point D, and of course you get your C of O. Once again, this whole thing looks very easy on paper, but when you actually begin the process, it is not really easy. And that is why I always recommend that you use the services of a seasoned barrister, a lawyer, or a surveyor, or you buy a property from a very organized real estate company like the Will Realty Limited, and we help you with that process. So many of our properties still come with a deed of conveyance, and it's because one of the reasons why we sell our properties with the deed of conveyance is not because we cannot process it all around our property, but because we want you to begin to enjoy your CFO from day one. So we don't hold your CFO down for like 4, 5, 6 years before you buy. Then you have less than 90 years to enjoy your CFO. So we want to make sure that you begin from day one to enjoy your CFO. So once again, if that appeals to you, if you've watched this video today, it means that investing in real estate back home or here in Nigeria, if you're in Nigeria, is something that appeals to you. By all means, please make sure that you chat me up. My link is in the description of this video or on my bio here on YouTube or anywhere you are watching this video from. Do well to chat me up, and I'll walk you through our properties. In fact, I'll guide you through a clarity session to understand your needs for investment back home. Then that will help me set the tone running for you. Once again, thank you for watching this video to this end. Do well to subscribe to this video. It's free of charge. Please comment what you've learned, 1 or 2 things you've learned in this video, and of course share to your friends and your family to help them, make sure that they go through investing in real estate back home the right way. See you in the next video. Thank you.